What's going on, folks? It's that time again. It's week 6, though. It's been 6 weeks. Wow.
Wow.
And I've been seeing folks following along this journey. So this is really good. We're preparing for the AI Practitioner certification exam that AWS offers. And we're trying to do it through just a natural conversation. You'll have an opportunity to look through the posts and find links and resources that we're dropping in. But let's talk about some things that are happening every day. Let's keep it current. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, I'm Ariel. If you can't read that little name there, we got a few topics to talk about. Coach, how you feeling today?
You know what? I'm doing all right. It's been a busy day, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always busy, but you know what? We'll keep it pushing. One of the things that we want to do today is we want to pull out some of the things of domain one because we're still considering domain one of that exam. But again, we want to do it in a very conversational way. And so we're going to look at a use case. We're going to look at a company that's already been dealing with AWS, and we're just going to take a look at a blog. And a lot of you may or may not know who this company is. And so let me just go ahead and present that for you. We'll bring it right up so you can understand what we're talking about here. This, my friends, crypto.com. If you were not aware, crypto.com is using a few AWS services to make sure that a large language model can be incorporated into their pipeline when they're trying to get everyday tasks done, right? There's a few highlights right here, Coach. And when I read these highlights, I was like, that's pretty awesome. Let me zoom in a little bit. It looks a little far away from you all. All right, that's enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so check it out. It's no guess that crypto is probably using large language models, right? If I were to consider some company in the financial sector in 2025, they're probably tying in some foundational models here. And so check it out, folks. This 1 second return time from a large language model. Wow, that's pretty cool, right? It takes 1 month to integrate Claude 3 models. And when I look at a time frame, like that's pretty swift. Right? I remember reviewing some machine learning pipelines in some early stages when I was trying to understand, and I had to pull some case studies out like we all do when we're trying to understand a new subject. And I used to get around 6 months to a year when you're trying to build out something in regards to machine learning. So to see a turnaround time of just 1 month, that's super cool. 25 languages delivers local multilingual content. A few AWS services that we'll pull out here that have some strengths behind multi-language and then rapid testing. But most importantly, let's just consider the actual models and the actual services that are being used here, right? As I consider crypto.com, I'm looking at this text here and I'm reading through it and I'm saying, they got a chance to really hone in on Anthropic Claude. And I love that. I use it all the time when I'm trying to create new content, when I'm really focused on generating some text, a response from maybe a single prompt or going into a conversation with a chatbot. I think Claude does really well with that. And you can find that on Bedrock, Amazon Bedrock. And you can see that as a service here. And if you haven't guessed already, it's one of those services that's going to be on the exam. You need to understand that Bedrock is a playground for a bunch of foundation models that you can hook up to, right? We can't forget about Amazon SageMaker. I think that when crypto went into creating a model, fine-tuning that model, maybe even having their own custom model to be a part of a process that they're doing, then they would have to integrate SageMaker into that process. And so just a few of the services that you might see on the exam, they're already a part of some company who's doing quite well, right? I would say, right? I got some crypto. I don't know about you.
One of the things for me that's telling here is the magnitude, right? You spoke about the transition or the return of 1 second, but where I'm thinking of, we're talking about a platform that serves over 100 million users in 90 countries. Wow. That's pretty significant. And that's the global impact of where you think, or where you can see the value of being able to fine tune their own institutional knowledge and harness that power with just this range of off the shelf different machine learning models that is within Bedrock. And I think that really symbolizes or shows the value of how fast, how secure things can be. Because again, within financial services, we're looking at areas of protecting people's assets. And crypto is just another form of an asset, right? And making sure that we're able to do this on a global spectrum, or should I say the company is able to do this on a global spectrum. It is just magnificent to see. where I think about even just trading stocks on a regular basis and the millisecond that it takes for one price to change from another price, whether it's up or down, is we're talking about upwards of millions of dollars of that impact
Wow.
and the value that's behind that. And so how do we secure all of that, right? And we'll get to that as we roll through here. But at the end of the day, with the technology, there's always the consideration, right? The
Yes.
concern of the risk associated with that, or what are we doing? We're moving fast, but then what is the risk associated with that in the way that we safeguard these models as well?
That's a great point to make, Coach.